Good morning, students. As you know that our country, our nation is suffering from a very serious stage of coronavirus. And regarding that schools are closed and we are unable to study. So this time, we are utilizing this time to make you understand about the new things and the new topics which we have to be discussed in class 12th in the subject of banking. Today, we will be starting with the topic of ancillary services of banks. In this video, we will be discussing about some various services which are being provided by the bank. So now, let's start the video. Now, in this session, we'll be discussing about the ancillary services of banks. There are mainly three services which are being provided by our bank. Number one is safe custody of valuables. Number two is locker operations. And number three is remittances. That is the mode of payments or the various methods through which we can transfer funds from one person to another person. Now, just coming back towards the first point, that is the safe custody of valuables, it means that when a customer wants some privacy and if he want to make sure that his valuable items and his valuable things need to be secured, so bank provides the facility of safe custody of valuables. In this safe custody of valuables, the bank provides the two terms, that is number one is bailer and number two is bailee. Now we'll try to understand the meaning, what is or who is a bailer and who is a bailee. Now bailer is the party that delivers the goods to another person, and the bailee is the party to whom the same is delivered. So when a customer gives a sealed box to the bank for safekeeping, the customer became the bailer and the bank becomes the bailee. Now here, once again, we'll try to understand the meaning of bailer and bailee. Now, as you know that you have studied about banking sector, that there are two things those who are involved in the facility or in the function of a bank. Number one is a customer and number two is the banker. Now in this case, in this scenario, the customer becomes the bailer and the bank becomes the bailee. Now the second point is locker operations. Now locker operations, what are locker operations? Locker operations are the facility of providing safe vaults to the customer, in which the customer understands the meaning of putting the valuable items in the safe vault which is being provided by the bank. The customer, if he wants to put some valuable items such as gold, such as property papers in a safe custody, so being the part of a bank, the customer opens an account or a locker operations in the bank. The second, and this is the second point which we have been focused in this thing, that is the locker operations. Now in the third thing is the remittances, and the remittances. Now the third point is remittances. Now we'll try to understand the meaning of remittances. Remittances means the methods of transferring funds from one person to another person. The banks have various channels or methods through which we can transfer funds or money from one person to another person. Now in this thing, we'll be studying about main 3 points, which is a part of various mode of payments or transferring of funds from one person to another person. Number one is the paper mode. In this paper mode, there are two things, that is number one RTGS, and number 2 is NEFT. Now RTGS stands for real-time gross settlements and NEFT stands for National Electronic Funds Transfer. Now when we're talking about RTGS, the minimum limit of RTGS is rupees 2 lakhs and the maximum there is no limit. Now when we're talking about NEFT, the per transaction which we can do is of rupees 10 lakh. As such, there is no minimum or maximum limit in NEFT, but per transaction you can order or you can transfer money of rupees 10 lakhs. Now the second thing is the checks and the demand drafts, which are once again they are known as the paper based mode of payments, in which we can issue checks from one party to another party, or we can issue demand draft from one person to another person. Now the third thing is the credit card and the debit card, which comes under the facility of cards transfer. Now cards transfer means that if we want to purchase an item from any shop and we are short with the money, we can use the mode of digital payment. Now the digital payment, we can use both the debit card as well as the credit card for the shopping purposes. We can use these types of card on each and every particular situation. Suppose we want to purchase clothes, we want to purchase grocery items, we want to buy any item, we can use these particular debit cards and credit cards. But there is a distinguish or there's a difference between a credit card and debit card. Is debit card is also known as your ATM card, and the credit card, in this we have a limit which is set by the bank itself. Now this is the end of the session 1, and very soon we'll be meeting you in the session 2 in the next video. Thank you everyone for watching and listening, and once again utilize this time in understanding each and every particular method. Thanking you.